So let's leave that open. Let me look on. Oh, is it not on? Can you guys see that? All right. So let me look at um, some definitions, some website definitions, so you can kind of follow along, so you get a better idea. So OpenStack definitions. No. Trying to look for a good one that would explain some stuff. Let me send you guys this link for you. Oh, this link. Well, you don't have to follow along with me. Here we go. This works as well. Okay. All right. So basically, so you have your public cloud and then you have your private cloud. Your public clouds are Amazon, AWS, Azure, um, Google Cloud, and then there are several other little smaller ones that that have their own cloud set up. DigitalOcean is another one, and then I think there's one more. There's a few more after that that are on a smaller scale. All right, so with your public clouds, a lot of startups, even a lot of companies are using AWS and Google Cloud. Which one is better? I think it's just depending on the project and the cost. Like I know Amazon costs. I know it costs me to leave a machine on at Amazon, and just as well, it costs me just to leave a machine on at Google Cloud. So you kind of can pick your poison, but you'll probably find more people uh, certified on AWS versus those certified on Google Cloud. So let's get a look at that. All right. So with your Amazon certifications, let's see, let's go under their certifications. So yeah, so you got to go associate, your specialty, and your professional. I'm gonna shoot this over to you so you can look at it or bookmark it, what have you. But as you can see, like it depends on how you fall, right? When I say how you fall, that I'm speaking on skill level here. Like if you want to be an architect, like someone that's actually, you know, uh, walking into a company and architecting the infrastructure, or if you're a developer and you want to understand how Amazon works and you're making, you know, uh, making an application and sending it up, or if you walk into a situation where they already have their Amazon services, cloud services built, you're just kind of managing it. So that's along the operation side. So that's just one aspect of it, right? Then you have GCP certifications, and I give you a website to go to as well too. All right, so as you can see with theirs, they have like cloud infrastructure, data learning, application, if you want to get on G Suite or so forth. But let's go look at cloud infrastructure. Now, under their cloud infrastructure, I think it's two. I think it's two tracks. I think it's just the architect here and the sysops. I think those are the only two tracks that they have. Go back and look at the right. And then coming soon, architecting with Google Cloud for design and process. Yeah, they ain't got there yet. architecting. Let's go look at the sysop one. Yeah, you could take this one, like this class, this Google Cloud Fundamentals class. I found it for free. I had to look at the link, but you could take it for free and get and be certified in it. Let me send you these links. You said can I has? Oh, you did? You took the class, the free one when I sent it out a while back? Oh yeah. Oh yeah, yeah. You can take it for free. I sent it out a while back. It's in Slack somewhere. Trust me. If you probably look up GCP, it's in Slack, and the link is there. And all those that don't have are not a part of our Slack, you should get with our Slack because we try to shoot out stuff. I try to shoot out stuff daily. FYI, I posted some stuff in Slack today about conferences. Um, I posted about discounts, and I also posted about scholarships. So check out Slack for scholarships and discounts. All right, back to a regularly scheduled program. All right, so those are your public clouds, and your private cloud is your private cloud will be uh, something like you building out vCloud from um, vCloud from VMware. You could do a vCloud as your private cloud, and with VMware, you have some um, free classes that you could take as well too. So they talk about, I think it's My Learn VMware. I spelled that all wrong. I think you can do some training online. And this is posted in Slack too. So hold on, I can just go over there and get that real quick. Because I made sure I posted that. Um, Let me look and see. Here you go. There's self-paced labs. All right. So here you'll see with VMware, you can do some data center virtualization fundamentals. You can learn about software-defined networking. Here's some VMware with OpenStack, um, desktop virtualization, and here's some other cloud stuff. And you can click on, let's see, click on the VMware Cloud Fundamentals. And then you register, and then it tells you, as you can see, it walks you through all of these. Now, I don't think I'm not sure. Don't quote me. I'm not sure if you could take the free stuff and then go take the certification. I think you can look at the class, and I think you still have to pay for the class, and then you can take the certification. I'm not sure on that. Um, it's best to ask someone at VMware on that because I'm not sure on it. And then there is OpenStack. So with OpenStack, the latest and greatest test, the COA test changes in June, but I think it changes something like June 17th or June 21st or something like that. But uh they're recommending that everyone take 6 months for the class, 6 months of training, and then you can take the class, take the exam. But I think you can actually study up for it and then go take the exam. And they said some people have done it, but it's hands on. Um, they they break down the exam by weights. Um, Let me see if they got on here COA exam. And every time I do this, I always have to remember that this also falls under I exam. So it's best to put COA exam OpenStack. Let's see. Here it is. All right. So let's start with you know, you know the baselines here. Getting to know OpenStack, pretty much understanding the APIs and the command line, identity management. And as I say this, I'm going to pull this up here. Identity management is your keystone. All right. And then your dashboard, that's Horizon. That's your dashboard. So basically, Keystone I use for authentication, and then I can do after I log in with my credentials via web browser. Horizon is my web browser that I log into. All right, then compute. Your compute nodes. That happens to be Nova. Nova is your compute nodes. And when they say compute nodes, and I could blow this up because you can see the name under there. When they're talking about compute nodes, they're actually talking about the actual instances on it, or tenants, I should say. Then your object storage, that is Swift. So what your object storage is, and it took me, I had to go read up on it, is actually your commodity hardware. So like, say I have 4 or 5 servers laying around, I could just start using that as my object storage. And then Cinder would be your SAN or NAS storage. And then Glance, when they talk about Glance, I don't know if you ever seen QCal images. Let's see. Just small versions of images to install right here. So like you can go and grab a Fedora one. It's a download page. And these are just images that you can download and put those images inside of your actual um put those images inside of your OpenStack cluster. So that's what that is. Let me get out of that and out of this. All right, and then there is, let's go back to the Cinder. So those are your volumes. And Neutron is more like your networking. As I have to look up the origin of some of these names because it just would be very interesting to see. And are we missing anything else? Let's go back. Networking, heat, orchestration, and then on the test is troubleshooting. So they didn't have heat on the actual thing over there, but that's you using that for uh like it says orchestrating, updating the stack, and then there's Rabbit MQ that keeps everything up to date in terms of messaging, like what is a sender doing, what is this doing, what is that doing. So kind of like your messaging, your message bus, and then troubleshooting, and then back to images. So they're looking at troubleshooting and so forth. So from what I've been listening to on YouTube, um one person said just type in COA OpenStack exams, and they have like a whole list of like information about how to get certified and what happens, after you get certified. So what I've been hearing is, and I haven't tested it yet. I'm still trying to debate on if I'm gonna go take the test or not. What I've been hearing is if you take the test, you're most definitely people start looking for you for work automatically immediately. So to see what I always do is I always see if it's worthwhile. I go to Indeed.com and then I just type in OpenStack, and I just look to see like what's like 90 is the minimum, you know, and I look to see what people are looking at, what locations are out there, who got the most locations, so forth and so on. So, that's a good level. Like, so mid level, they got 1,000 jobs. At senior level, they got 637 jobs. So, you know, it depends on where you fall at in the spectrum. You may be mid, you may be senior, but at least, their minimum is 90. So, I mean, that's a good start, for somebody, I guess, that probably knows Linux, understands infrastructure, and then may have taken a Linux certification and then went and did OpenStack. So that's okay. That's pretty good. And then there's the one book, OpenStack Ansible. So this book, they changed it. Let me see if this is it. No, that's not it. Put Walter behind here. Let me see if his book comes up. Yeah, this guy. This is what I was looking for. And that's who wrote this book, Walter. All right. So Walter Bentley wrote this book, OpenStack Ansible. I'm trying to find his book. So in case you ever wanted to check it out. Let's see. That's a Safari. I see the one from Packet over there, but there's a newer version because I have it. It's that orange and yellow-ish looking one. Let's go. What does Packet? Does Packet have the new one? No. January 2016. He came out with another one. This guy. There it is. All right. So Ansible and OpenStack for deployment, great. So why are we having this meeting? Well, I want just to discuss some basics, but also do a basic install of OpenStack with you guys. I think it may be, and I keep saying you guys, you ladies. I think the Packstack is gonna take some time. So let me see if I still logged in. Clear. Let me do a Yum update here. I did an Ubuntu, so it's not a Yum update. Does anyone need a machine to follow along with? It's an Ubuntu machine. Hold 1 second, please. All right. So, does anybody need a machine, or you just want to follow along? All right, I'm gonna send you this, and you can look it over later. But it just talks about what Packstack is, and basically, what we're gonna be doing is installing a one node cluster. I should have went back and did Centos, because Packstack is Centos and DevStack is Ubuntu. So we can do that real quick. That's no biggie. Mm-mm-mm-mm-mm-mm-mm. Let's do that real quick. We'll do DevStack and Packstack. We may not have time for it. Yeah, it can be a little intensive. That's why I was asking, did you what you had? Because I was like, maybe we can just spin you up a machine. How much memory do you have on your VM? I think you need a minimum of 4 gigs. I think you can get away with 2. Well, let's go look at it. Packstack minimum mini. That's right. Requirements. Well, this is for Red Hat. So your CPU minimum 2 gigs, and they say 50 gigs for disk space. That's what they say. All right. So I just got my email for my new machine. Let's get logged into it. Do 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 do. Alrighty. Alright, wait. So let me update this real quick. And we need to add some repos. We need to add the EPEL. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab this guy here. Copy link address. Move this out of my way. Finish your transactions. Let it do its thing, and once it does its thing, then I'm going to run it. So you need a machine. D can get your machine set up and go from there. So D, can you assist with that, please? Thank you so much. Thank you kindly.
I swear you just want to make it hard on the sister with my newfound problems. Hopefully I can pull it up. Alrighty, who am I? Somebody, whoever, please inbox me your information. And is it still for Barbara?
I mean, I can spin one up. I'm already in there.
If you're already in there, then I don't want to
Yeah,
pull you out of trouble from teaching the class, but I'll spin one up for Barbara. I have her information.
yeah. These are
Bye.
things that on assistance. That's what I was expecting as an assistant, for the
I'm not an
class.
assistant.
For the class.
I'm a participant. Barbara, I got you. You don't need to do anything.
Barbara, you know what you need to do? I'm gonna tell you. This from me to you. You just get on the phone and
I'm
you
muting
and
myself for this drama. I'm
you get
muting
on the
myself,
phone. You get
everybody.
on the phone and Barbara, this is what you say. Dang it, give me my VM. That's what you say. All right. So, is it updated yet? Almost. All right, let's go Packstack because you need to follow along installing the Packstack. Oh yeah, I can. This'll work. That'll work. I was thinking that, oh man, that's not gonna work, but no, it'll work. All right, here we go. See, they did 4 gigs, 30 gig, 4 gigs of memory, 30 gigs. All right, so here, so with Red Hat, that Red Hat link that I sent over, we'll walk through those steps too. Let me grab that so we can walk through those steps. All right, we're done. Let me get this Apple going. So I'm gonna do a yum install of Apple right here. All right, so now if I do a yum repo list, you should see my repos being listed. There we go. All right, so here, if you're gonna do your install on it, you're supposed to make sure you look. I don't have either one of those. We'll see if this is gonna work. 64-bit, 2 gigs memory, disk space 50 gigs, controller. I know I think the ones on what you call it work on Google Cloud. I don't need to do that part. We don't need to set up any Swift stuff. That's what we want. We want meat and potatoes. Okay, so in comparison of that one versus this one. So here they did they changed the names. I don't think I had to change the names. So in Centos, if you are running this on your machine, if you do an IF config or IPADDR, you'll see that on DigitalOcean and I think Google Cloud, they come off as ETH0. But if you are installing this at home, I mean, like on a bare metal machine, they have a new naming scheme for interfaces. And so this right here is changing that naming scheme. That's what this is. So that your schema doesn't come up like ENIPMN0 something like that. So new naming scheme, CentOS interfaces. Yeah, I think it comes up really, really. Oh, I know it comes up really differently, but I just wanted to see if they was gonna show how that it actually comes up. I think this tells you to change it. This shows you how to change it. Yeah, see, they come up something like this: EM1, EM2, something very different. I have like they'll come up like that, and so you on that link here. The where was that? Wherever I was at. I forget where I was at. Oh, here. This link here, this bios dev name, that and the IF names, it has you change it, and then you have to go into your UDEV rules and change that too, and then rebuild your grub controller. All right, so let's walk through these steps here. Let's disable our firewall. We're on Centos 7, so it's system control versus services, but you can still use services. I'm going to control L to clear. So system control, disable firewall D. Let's stop network manager. Network manager tends to mess up your for me it messes up my networks when I'm trying to get my networks in order. All right. So now Liberty is the what the exam is over up until I think the 17th, but that's going to change. So we need to set up our repo for to have that installed. So here, let's do that. Let's grab that repo. We're setting ourselves up for that. We can do another yum update because it rolls through and grabs the latest and greatest information that it needs for setting that up. And then now we do a yum install OpenStack Packstack. All right, it's installing what it needs. And then the next thing we're going to do is we got to create our answer file. All right, so let's look at this. I think the answer file, if I'm not mistaken, hold on, let me go back to this guy. See, there is an answer file and I forget where it's at right now. Where is the answer file? Hold on. I forget where the answer file is at. But never fear. Let's go back to our page. All right. Let's see, what does it say? Oh yeah, I generated. Let's go. Let's grab this guy. And let's generate our answer file. All right. So once you generate your answer file, as you can see, it made me an SSH key. If I do an ls here, you'll see I have answers.txt. Oh, let me install Vim. I like Vim. Always, it's enhanced and it's just like the colors and stuff. All right. So if you look through this file, let's expand this. And then let's make this a little bigger. There. All right. As you can see, that SSH key was made. I don't have a default password, so I have to give it a default password. So I'm gonna set that up, and as you can see, it's gonna go through and install my image servers, my block storage, my shared file system, compute, which is Nova, my Neutron, the Horizon, Ceilometer, Heat. Let's go tell it to install Heat. You know what? I hope this me installing Heat doesn't take up space. So we're gonna give it a shot here. Bare metal provision with Ironic. We're gonna get into that later. We're gonna do some deployments on bare metal machines, like a server out in a data center. We're gonna get into those. So let's pull up a NTP server because everything is based on time, and time is of the essence. Time is everything. I think it's time.nist.gov. I think you can go there. I think that is a time server. Take it forever. Yeah, there we go. See. Let's grab this one. It should be okay. I'm alright and quit. I'm gonna clear this. I don't want to do a host to see if it's pulling back. Okay, so host is not there. So that RPM is, I forget it off the top of my head. Buying utils. And I want to put it in by name because anybody can change their IP address, but if you put stuff in by name, it'll always find it. So that it found it, and it found it because of my DNS servers are with Google, and they also find also results for me. All right, so let's go back into my answer file, and we can put in that time server there by name. All right, Nagios is installing. Do we want to do it in config mode? It went by IP addresses for my servers, but I can see I'm not using vCenter. My storage is local. Let's tell it to use the Apple because I've set that up. And then if I need additional repos, I could. I don't want the testing repository. I don't have a satellite server configured. No proxy configured. Are you guys keeping up with me? I'm sorry if I'm going too fast. And then this is the message queue, the AMQP. That's the message queue that I was talking about. And here, as you can see, it generated a root password for me for my MariaDB password, and it also it set up the keystone information for me, my tokens. So that's all from running that command, and then I'll be able to go via here to log in. So I think I'm gonna go all the way to the end, but I think we have everything that we need. In order to get this up and running. So let's quit that. And let's go back to our site. So as you can see, we did that. Blah, 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 blah. Once it's done, we could issue. We're going to do a Packstack install using our answer file. So now basically I'm just going to cut and paste this. And it's going to run for 15 minutes. Let's see what we got going on. All right. So it's setting up an Openstack Setup Log. What I'm going to do is I'm going to log in via Homebrew here. Okay. And then I'm gonna tell and live that, see if we get anything. All right, so it's, as you can see, it's going through and setting up Neutron. It's setting up Swift, MongoDB, the Nova, the Glance. It's going through and setting up all of that for us. And then at the end, we should be able to hit via web page this actual thing. I guess it ain't wrote to it yet. Let me see. Oh, it did write something. Okay. Yeah, so you see, firewall glance, blah, 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 blah. Went through the file, blah, 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 blah. blah, blah, blah. All right, cool. So let's let that run and do its thing. I'm going to pull this off screen. Any questions before we start going down the path of something else now? All right. So, what classes have I taken that I think will help you with understanding OpenStack? If you haven't signed up with us for Linux Academy, you should. Um, I know Tune has been asking about that. Right now, we have 10 accounts, and I'm thinking about reducing them down because we don't use all 10. But the OpenStack courses on Linux Academy, they just released a new course. Right here, the OpenStack Essentials is a good course to take. I took the another OpenStack class that they had, but I recommend you taking the OpenStack Essentials, which is pretty good. So I took the MCA 100 class. So the way OpenStack has their classes set up, that's not what I wanted. They have like a intro class, like an essentials class, and then they have some advanced classes, and it's with Morantis actually. All right, so training, like you can do it on demand. All right, so here, so see, they have the OpenStack Fundamentals class, and then they have the Boot Camp 1 and 2, and then they have Kubernetes and Docker, which we're going to get into Kubernetes. I need to finish that class out so I can make the training modules for it. So we'll have it for us to use so we can start doing some Kubernetes and so forth. But with that being said, I would take this OpenStack over here on Linux Academy, the fundamentals. Yeah, this one here. Because it talks about, everything kind of what I just went over here. And then they have you do a virtual box one. And then they have a Packstack and a DevStack. So they go through all do it yourself, all three ways. The virtual box one, a Packstack, which is what we're doing. Next week we can run through and do a dev stack, and then we can go through and click and start learning, setting up. So we can set up a lab and start learning how to create images, upload images, so forth and so on. I think we can run through OpenStack for a good solid month. On just doing it and setting it up and understanding how it works, and then supplementing that with your actual classes that you have online that you could take from Linux Academy, and then go from there. And if you feel like it, you could actually take the exam. So the other one with the um let me see, where's that? Right here. I'm almost done. I'm 76% of the way. But it goes into a lot of detail. Now keep in mind this exam is changing, but from what I hear, it's not going to be that much of a change. All right. So they want you to do command line, and they want you to do using the actual Horizon interface. So we're getting a little further along on our install over here. Is doing glance right now. It did the messaging servers. It did glance. It is sender. Now it's doing Keystone. So like I said, it take about 20 minutes. So, and then once you do OpenStack and you get a good feel for it, I will also go back and do the Ansible one. so you can learn how to do deployment with Ansible. Has anyone else done Ansible outside of this class? You can just raise your hand. Oh, okay. So, would you want to go back and do an Ansible class as well too? Yes, no, maybe, could be. Okay, so we can go back and do an Ansible one. So, um, we have Ansible. So next week when we meet up again, we're gonna go through. Um, we're gonna go through the dev stack. This week we went through the Packstack, which was Centos install. I would encourage you to do this by yourself. Is install the Packstack on CentOS and get it up and running and start playing with it. And then we'll go back and do an Ubuntu install as well and play with it. And it's going to be the same steps. Let's look it up. It's called DevStack Ubuntu. And you need to make sure you do it on a certain one. I think you can't do it on the latest and greatest, which is 1704. I think you have to do it on 1404. Think so. I don't think you can go to the latest and greatest. Hey, their websites. See. Yeah, I think you have to stick with 1404. And so this right here walks you through the dev stack. Again, you go back and set up your answer file. It looks like they're creating a user, so forth and so on. Copy, then do an install, and voila. But we can walk through this next week. Here, I'll give you this. I'll make some other notes. And then there's also a way to do OpenStack piece by piece. Like in the class on Pluralsight, how he does it is he doesn't do the Packstack install. He actually walks through every last uh, service and installs the service individually. Basically, what you'll get is for each services, every service goes into MySQL. So if it's a service, it has to have a username and it has to have a password and it's going into the database. So Keystone, Glance, Nova, Neutron, Sender, Swift, all have username and passwords and all go inside the database. Period. That's how they authenticate. So just a FYI on that. And then each one has, of course, a username and password. Each one has a table inside of the database. So they have a table that gets populated with, whatever they need for them to work, and then go from there. All right. So what are we looking like? Let's see. I had an error. Can't allocate memory. Oh, it is out of memory. But it looked like, hold on. It looked like it might have worked, but it's out of memory. Let's give it a shot and see. Let me look and see. Yeah, it's out of memory. I don't think it made any keys. Nah. It said it did it, but I don't see it. Let me see. Yeah, it didn't do it because inside of my root partition, I would have had this Keystone RC file, and I would have been able to log in. Let me see something. Anything? Nothing. Let's see something here. I know I stopped the firewall, but I'll just double check it again. Let's go over here to this one. Yeah. Yeah, it's out of memory. Let me see how much memory did I have for this machine. Yeah, only supplied at 1 gig. Remember, I need a minimum of 2 if you're doing good. So I'm gonna power it off, and I'm gonna expand it. Um, I'm gonna push it up, and then I can see if I can run it again. If not, I'll just do a clean install on it. Let's move it up to 8 gigs here, and let it resize or log back in and see if we can get it. We did have Pluralsight at one time. We got rid of Pluralsight. It's expensive as a group. I think as a group membership, it was. I don't know. I think it was something like $120, $140 a person. All right, it's resizing. So, uh, it's it looked like it may be back up. Hold on. Oh, I need to turn it on. All right. Oh, and the other ones I want to show you, I got in on there when they were cheaper. But Cloud Academy is a good one. Um, they have pretty much, yeah, they got DevOps classes, Google Cloud, Microsoft, Amazon. So, what do they consider DevOps? Content management, SysOps, AWS, fundamentals. The other one is a cloud guru. You catch a cloud guru and Udemy and all of them around Christmas time, cause they selling stuff for like $12, $10 and stuff like that for the year. So here you go. Let's go back over here. Okay. I wonder if this is gonna let me do it. We'll see. I got enough room now. I expanded. I gave it 4 gigs, so it should be okay. But for the most part, that's all I wanted to show everyone today. I wanted to get to the login prompt so you can get logged in so you can see, and then I can make accounts on it, and then you can log in and play around with it, and then build one for yourself as well. I also want to do a dev stack next week, like I said, and then we'll do like an individual one where we'll start doing like deployments using Ansible or using Terraform. So we can basically build out our entire infrastructure from command line and then deploy it. So what I've been doing is I've been looking at distributed systems as well too. You still need a Linux background, but so what I do is um, what I've been seeing on like so Pesa jobs, and then let's go back and say OpenStack, and then we'll go back and say distributed systems. Let's see. Oh, it crashed on me. Yeah, I'm gonna have to do a full blown reinstall. That ain't gonna work. Yeah, that's not gonna work. So I do a full blown reinstall and go from there because that I don't think that's up. Let's check it. Let's see. Do a netstat dash pant. So you see 3306 for the MySQL, 22 to 5,000. Those are things that I need, but I know it didn't work. Yeah, I had to do a full blown reinstall. So I'll get it up and running, and I'll post the link in Slack as well too, so you can see. And then for all of those that followed along, you can do this too. You don't have to rely on me to get it up. Let's see is where it keeps airing out at. Something in here. See, failed dependencies on Maria's server. Okay. Because when it goes through, it should you know what? I may have to that should already be installed. Yeah. See, that's installed already. And if we looked at the answer file, see, MySQL. Where is that? Where was it at? See, database. Uh huh. Heat database. I just need the MySQL database. Identity. I wanted to see if we could log into the database to see if it's creating tables, creating databases. Here we go. And then I can just drop the databases. So see, it created the databases for me. Um, so those are the tables that it created. So in all intents purposes, I could go back in, drop all the databases that it has created, and then rerun the script again. But this error here is something else. And it's saying that I should see that in the var log. Let's go over there again and look one more time. It should be recent. So hold on. All right. Failed dependency, skipping failed, skipping failed, skipping failed, skipping failed. It's a lot of skipping failed. Where does it start at? Ah, is that not installed? Let's look it up and see. RPM, that's QA. Let's grab for that. It's installed. Is there a particular version of my SQL server it needs? They both match, so that's not the case. I think it just needs to be a clean install. That's what I'm thinking. That's what I think. I thank you all for joining me today. I'm gonna get this up and running, and if I get this up and running, then I'll post the link and make everybody accounts, and then you can log in and play with it and then go from there. And then we'll do, like I say, the dev stack next week, which is the Ubuntu one, and then uh, so then you'll see how it works on Ubuntu and Centos, and this will be all you need to study for the actual exam. They'll tell you, like, this is all you need to set up so that you can study for the exam. Now, when you want to go and dive in further, it's like doing what I did was going into the database. Oh, I didn't keep the password, but going into the database and looking at the database and so forth and so on. So you could do like OpenStack. See, will it work? Oh yeah, services list. So I get a list of services that are running on my OpenStack machine. Yeah, see, it's looking for that username and all that stuff. So when I did the install, remember it kept saying that it put the admin source file right here. That's not under there, so that's how I know it failed. Because when I do I'm in root as it is, and I don't see that file anywhere. So that file's not there. So I can't log in without it. And to log into my project, I would need to source this file, and that file will have my URL. I can go get it from my answer file, but the project name, the domain name, all of that, and I could log, and then I could source that file, and then I can run these OpenStack commands that you see here: OpenStack service list, OpenStack service show. It'll list all the services to show, and then I'll be able to do all of that for command line. So I'll get this going. I'll blow this machine away and run it and get it set up, and then let me know if you tried and you have errors or so forth or so on. But thanks for coming out today.